Hello and welcome to Courtside. My name is Robert Winston, joined today here by Dale Fenny.
How you going?
Welcome. And Jamie Samuel, welcome.
Thanks, mate.
Today we'll be discussing the three key reasons as to why the NBL has gone from a basket case into the modern day where it is a powerhouse in Australian sport. Dale, would you like to elaborate on my first comments there and just talk about what you researched, and we'll get stuck into it.
Yeah. So I dissected and researched the TV broadcasting rights, and through the years how that has evolved and played a big part in basketball returning to the top. Some of the findings that I found was on the 30th of August 2012, the NBL released their own subscription-based internet television channel, which was available worldwide through their official website, which was called NBL TV, which allowed fans to watch their team replays and highlights, and NBL TV gives fans the opportunity to watch their team live, and any highlights or interviews with the coaches or players, all of that, which you can view through that. So that was one of the findings I found. And then I also seen as well in 2015, Fox Sports and the league signed a 5-year partnership, which would see Foxtel broadcast every game live and in high definition, which was a first for NBL in Australia.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yep.
So Jamie, welcome to the show again. I believe you've researched the grassroots of the NBL and basketball in Australia. So would you like to tell the viewers about your research and exactly how grassroots is represented?
Yeah, so grassroots are obviously an important part of any professional sports organisation, as it gives plenty of young people an opportunity to get involved and start, because if you think about it, every professional started at the bottom and worked their way from young age up.
Yeah.
So, obviously throughout Vic Metro, there's over 20 leagues you can get involved in. There are plenty of opportunities in Victoria alone to get involved. There's even a deaf basketball association for people who are hearing impaired, so that's a great opportunity to give some disabled people an opportunity to get involved.
Sounds like a great initiative.
Yeah. So Basketball Australia effectively was created to carry out 4 projects. 2 of those support elite teams, and 1 for junior development, and 1 of them for the Centre of Excellence. So the junior development program was used to support coaches, talent identification programs, and junior athletes.
Okay.
Can I give an example of something which really helped? Something which really helped the promotion of basketball in Australia was this year, between the 6th and the 13th of June, there was an under-16s basketball competition held on the Sunshine Coach, and it gave opportunity for state representation for these junior people. So with Vic Metro bringing home the double, both boys and girls winning the championship, the Vic Metro coach quoted, "I think it's the best thing about Vic Metro, it's taken, 10 guys to contribute, and we had guys step out tonight that may not have necessarily stepped up earlier in the week. We have seen 7 of our junior program clubs represented in all the 10 kids. So it's a true testament of what Vic Metro basketball is. So all in all, it appears that junior competition being played at Sunshine Coach in Australia has really helped promote basketball as a sport in Australia, and may have helped turn it around a little bit."
Okay.
Absolutely.
Fantastic, Jamie. Okay, and we'll come back to the conclusion at the end of the show. Okay, my research that I did was marquee players in the National Basketball League and the return of marquee players. For many years, Australia was not seen as a destination for some of the top talent of America to come to Australia and play in the National Basketball League. Main reasons for this was the league just simply wasn't seen as professional enough and obviously the pay rates here in Australia didn't compare for basketballers to go overseas to Europe or even to the Middle East, where the player contracts were a lot more lucrative, and just the league in general wasn't seen as a league where a basketballer could actually improve his or her skills. This all changed in the 2013-2014 season, when a young rookie by the name of James Ennis, second round selection of the Miami Heat, was recruited by the Perth Wildcats. He was the first marquee signing since the mid-90s, probably since the Andrew Gaze era of the mid-90s, when basketball was at its full height in Australia. He averaged 21 points that season and helped the Perth Wildcats to the championship in the 13-14 season. So by James Ennis coming here, he basically started a new pathway for young American players with all the talent in the world who were drafted by NBA clubs, as a pathway to not only get some experience by travelling to another country and living a professional lifestyle as a basketballer, but also to enhance their basketball credentials as far as a player, fitness, and elite ways they go about training. So this also created the pathway for such signings in the future seasons to come, such as marquee signings such as Jahlil Carson, Scotty, Will Becken, Kendrick Perry, and Jordan McRae, just to name a few. So those are some of the reasons that I've just elaborated about for the return of marquee players to the NBL. So guys, now that we have discussed our 3 key points, how about we have a group discussion and just elaborate about what we have talked about, and just finalise our key points and make sure it's correct, and we'll finish it off with how it's going to go into the future of the NBL as we are in the 2018 season, which is upcoming very soon. So Dale, would you like to elaborate on the point that you made before into your conclusion?
Yeah. So just another thing that I found as well in the research of just recently, 2 weeks ago on the 17th of August, the NBL gained another boost and signed a partnership with Channel 9 which was a free-to-air deal for the NBL, which will allow games to be broadcasted on a Saturday and Sunday. So fans that don't have Fox Sports or pay TV, they can still watch their favourite players such as Andrew Bogut and Chris Golding for Melbourne United, or whoever it may be. They can watch their team on Channel 9, which is a free-to-air network. So that was another massive coup for the NBL.
Okay.
And yeah, that's my last finding.
Okay. Well, thanks for your input there, Dale. Thank you very much. And Jamie, would you like to elaborate and give us a conclusion about the key point?
Basketball is certainly a popular grassroots game in Australia. Something that I forgot to mention, and it's really good to conclude with, is that last year I gained a diploma of sport development, and I've done some coaching work throughout this year, and a lot of what I have been coaching are basketball little drills to kids at schools and those kind of things, because basketball is obviously quite a popular sport to get involved with at quite a young age. So the fact that a lot of kids are getting involved into basketball from a young age is turning it into quite a popular sport. And doing this research, I've actually been inspired, because I've usually been generally an AFL fan, Hyundai A-League fan. I think that I'd love to get along to my first NBL game in the 2018/19 season, because this has certainly made it interesting to me, and I'd love to go down and watch it. And it's certainly, from a grassroots perspective, really growing in popularity, and I'm coaching it at the moment, so it's a lot of fun, and it's certainly a great game to get involved with, and it's certainly got a future in Australia to be a big sport, because we live in the capital of Australia, Melbourne. The sporting capital.
We know exactly what you mean.
Melbourne is the sporting capital of the world, so basketball certainly has a future here, and it'll start.
Well said, Jamie. Well said.
Grassroots.
Yep.
Okay, Jamie. Thanks for your input on the grassroots of Australian basketball.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to elaborate on what I was talking about with the marquee players. As I said 5 seasons ago, it did start a pathway with James Ennis, just to recap on what I just elaborated. But also to the current day, leading into the 2018 and 19 season, is probably one of the biggest signings in Australian basketball history, due to the fact that Andrew Bogut has just been signed by the Sydney Kings. Obviously, most Australian basketball fans would know of Andrew Bogut and what he's done overseas. He's won a NBA championship with the Golden State Warriors, helping Stephen Curry in that season in 2015. Was the #1 draft pick at the Milwaukee Bucks. So as far as the echelon of Australian players goes, Bogut really exemplifies what many young kids would dream to become one day.
Pull-throughs and cuts coming through, but here's Bogut, and he'll probably go to work down low here.
Bogut, the hook shot, good. Andrew Bogut, hears it from the crowd. His first points as a Sydney King. Incredibly deep Kings team. Just throws it up off the window. Bogut, we count that as a rebound or a pass? Bogut, great pass, nearly extra pass, kick it, a spectacular play.
By having Andrew Bogut back here in Australia, it's going to be huge for the game in Australia, as far as the commercialisation, just getting fans back to the games. Like, it's going to be huge. No matter whoever the Sydney Kings play, there'll be definitely a huge influx of fans because of Andrew Bogut as an actual brand. Right, even if I don't go for the Sydney Kings, I'll go for Melbourne United, for example. I'll be, if when they come down to Melbourne to play, I'll want to go to see the Sydney Kings because of the fact that Andrew Bogut has done so much of the game of basketball.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's a huge signing for the Sydney Kings. And also to elaborate on that, coming from the same team, Andrew Gaze has been coaching the Sydney Kings for the past 2 years, and obviously he was a marquee player, Australian player back in the mid-90s until he retired in approximately 2000. So having these key Australian figures of basketball, marquee figures, so Bogut being the huge one, and Andrew Gaze has got not only just the general public talking again, but it's got the grassroots talking again, right? And it's got the commercialisation and the TV rights deals and everyone talking about it, wanting to invest money in it, sponsors, etc. So even the fact Andrew Bogut will own 10% of the Sydney Kings, with the potential to earn more in the future, is part of his contract over 3 years. That's huge because he can even see basketball rising. So he would be putting his money into something that he doesn't believe will grow in the seasons to come. So
that's right. Yeah.
There you have it, guys. We've elaborated on the subject of the rise of the NBL. Well, thank you for the input, Jamie, and thank you very much for watching Courtside. Make sure you tune in next week for another big episode.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.